Stop right there, folks, because some of you may fast forward through this part of the video, but stick with me for this one. We are just weeks away from the CCAN's annual EV raffle giveaway program ending. And that means that your chance to win an electric car is amazing, and you really don't get a chance unless you get in on the action and get a ticket. So we're getting close to the end here, and this is why I really want you guys to watch this video. There are only 10,000 tickets available to be sold, which means your chances to win are amazing because every ticket gives you 3 chances. If you've watched this part of the video, you already know the spiel. There are some incredible prizes this year, including a Porsche Electric for the first place option. You could also choose a Rivian or a Lucid if you happen to win that one. And that is just so cool. I mean, the prizes are amazing. They cover all taxes and fees as well. Second place option, Rivian R2, the freaking awesome vehicle. Volkswagen ID Buzz or Hyundai Ioniq. And the third place opportunity is the new Chevy Bolt EV. So we're getting right up on the edge of this program. If you've been delaying spending the $200 for a ticket because you just wanted to see how it would play out, well, guess what? Tickets are slightly undersold, which means your chances of winning are absolutely amazing. So get in on there. All you have to do is head to evraffle.org. evraffle.org. $200. Enter in. Let me know when you win. Thanks to the CCAN Action Fund for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the main portion of the content. Guys, up on the lift, we have the 2026 Tesla Model Y Performance. That's the Juniper new Performance.
Right.
And we just put it up on the lift because we're actually preconditioning the battery.
Right.
We just took it off of some 10% challenge. We're getting it ready for a charge test, and I wanted to cool the battery a little bit more because it's blazing hot outside.
Right. And
so I've got the AC ripping in here and just trying to cool this thing down because Tesla does not target a cold enough preconditioning temperature, especially if you get to a charger with like a 0% arrival.
Right.
So how to do a little manual action here. But while we were underneath the car, we're calling this the review from down under. We saw some pretty incredible aero shielding work.
Yeah, some interesting changes.
And then I thought we would also just talk about some other things of new Model 3, Model Y underneath review. So if you guys don't follow Alex, he is 2 doors down from us, right over there, and films for the Out of Spec Renew channel, essentially taking care of these cars after they're out of the factory warranty period.
Indeed. I may even have a Model 3 coming in soon for a pack swap, which is Model 3 and Model Y. It's all the same. Same difference, same pack, same motors, same everything.
Very cool. But there have been slight changes, right? Over the years, there's different batteries.
There's different battery variants and different drive unit variants for, performance rear-wheel drive, different powered inverters. But as far as like the battery packs, if you take a battery pack from one long-range car, if it's a Model 3 or a Model Y, you can interchange it, vice versa. There's really no significant changes. There's a few bolt-on parts that might sometimes change, but you can easily swap those things out for compatibility.
So what if we wanted to put the worst, highest degradation NCA standard pack in the Model Y Performance?
Theoretically, it might work, but because this has a new pack variant, don't know what the interoperability is there.
Right.
I know that if you're changing, so like for example, you can't go from a standard range to a long range, or vice versa. You have to stay within the same family of pack sizes. So you can go from a standard range NCA, 54 kilowatt hour to an LFP 60, or you can go from the old 75 kilowatt hour to the 82 kilowatt hour long range packs. But this is a totally different pack variant, so don't know yet.
Don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure people will be doing, although I couldn't imagine you would put a different pack in this car because it is the largest capacity.
Right. I could maybe see someone wanting to go the other way around, but also maybe not.
Yeah, the charging on this battery has been really bad.
Yeah, and I don't know. For the amount of extra energy that you get, I don't think the trade-offs in charging speed and stuff are worth it, nor would the cost be worth it.
Right. Right now, these are expensive. You're not going to find any for sale.
Yeah.
So let's look up underneath. So from my impression, the last time I looked up underneath a Model 3 or Model Y, comes from like my era of when I was really reviewing those cars, 2018, 2019.
Right.
So many changes underneath these things, and this one in particular, the Aero shields, dude, are absolutely wild. So let me just point towards the front of the car. You have a really nice shield up here. This isn't super uncommon. You do have the teardrop shape to help with Aero, but we're just commenting on how efficient this car is.
Yeah.
I ran it in the 10% challenge, and it matched and even beat the Model Y rear drive.
Right.
Which is crazy, but it was also much warmer outside.
Yeah, some different conditions, but still.
Yeah, I don't know how they get that crazy efficiency, and so we threw it on the lift to precondition it kind of as a joke, and then we saw this piece back here.
Yeah.
And this is totally, like, I can't imagine the team of people that had to put that much effort into every single bend and crevice, because no one's making cars as efficient as Tesla, really, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're kind of top of the game for efficiency.
I mean, there's always that Lucid conversation, but those are big vehicles.
Right, they're big vehicles, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, would any of the Lucids meet the efficiency of this?
I don't know.
Maybe so. Maybe in the right conditions.
Maybe an Air on Aero wheels, but
Yeah.
that's a sedan. But certainly Air versus Model 3. Model 3 is
Right.
more efficient.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a crazy piece. You have on all the control arms just a perfectly smooth area here.
And they've basically always had Aero covers on the lower control arms and stuff, but they've really closed up all the gaps in here. Even like this little section here, it extends a lot further back. I'm pretty sure that if you look at an older car, this wouldn't extend nearly so far back.
Right.
They've closed up all of the gaps. I mean, we've got what? Maybe 3/4 of an inch there and an inch there. There's no gaps anywhere. They've really closed everything off to optimize the Aero back here. And this is really formed to a much different shape than the older cars. Usually they are formed a little bit with some contours to fit around all the stuff under here, but not to this extent.
Yeah, this is a pretty big departure from what I've seen, at least from Tesla underneath the car. And I think a lot of this upswing could help with stability. You know, you're going to pull a little bit of vacuum here, I would imagine, get the rear axle to settle down. This is the performance after all.
I'm also noticing that it's asymmetrical.
Oh, yeah,
So
you're right.
That one, what do we have under there? That's part of the drive unit where this little section is.
Okay. Is that the oil filter there?
No oil filters on the 4DU.
Oh, really?
They eliminated the serviceable oil filters.
Interesting.
And then right here,
do you
that's
recommend
the end of the inverter. There's more gap in between there, but they did still put a little bit of a contour right there, but less than the other side.
Can't quite see up there. Do you recommend oil changes for Model 3 and Y owners, by the way?
I would say probably about every 100,000 miles. I mean, there's plenty of people that never do it, and you know they never have a problem. But if you plan to keep the car long term, it's never a bad idea to service it. I mean, oil additives in terms of anti-wear stuff breaks down. You get a buildup of metallic particulate because all the metal gears and the bearings, all that's moving parts. All that stuff wears out. There's no getting around that. So you kind of want to flush out all the metallic debris at some point and put fresh oil in. And I mean, honestly, 100,000 miles is probably fine.
Yeah, we're going to do my Model 3 coming up here soon. I'm at about 170, and that's lived a rough life, that car. So I'm curious to see what comes out of it.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. I mean, they do have a filter, which when you go back to the older cars like Model S and whatnot, they don't have an actual filter. They have a little mesh screen, but that's it.
Interesting.
So they don't have any
So like
paper
LDU,
filter.
they have no filters.
Yeah, and LDUs, I would say 50,000 miles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they actually have a bit more wear issues. And there's plenty of other cars that have wear problems. These, not nearly so much.
And 4DU, there's no serviceability.
Well, there's no filter that's serviceable. So there is a filter, but it's internal, and you can't access it.
Okay,
So
but you can still drain and fill.
You can still drain and fill. You just can't change the filter.
Okay.
So, and I would say changing the filter when you do the gearbox oil change, you don't necessarily have to, but the filters are cheap.
Yeah.
So, It's not worth not doing it if you can.
So I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about the structure of the battery. You had some interesting points about these bolts here. I think there's a lot of misconception online of Model Ys being structural packs.
Right.
Remember the 4680Y?
Right. They don't make structural pack Model Ys anymore.
Nope. There was kind of a short run.
Yeah, they probably only made them for like a year and a half, maybe.
And they charged terribly.
Yeah.
But they drove great. My buddy Brandon Flash, who's a YouTuber, had one.
Yeah.
And I borrowed his car for a day, and I was blown away on how different that car drove and sounded from like reverb noises through the chassis than other Model Ys.
Yeah.
It just charged like ass.
Yeah. Technical term.
Technical term, yes. So this is just kind of a standard construction, right? This just bolts right into the body. The seats are not attached to the battery per se.
So there's still a floor pan above the battery that all the seats and stuff are attached to. So there's nothing different here from, you know, any other. Basically, it's all the same architecture as Model 3 since 2017.
Sure.
So really nothing's changed.
It's amazing how it's the similar chassis, but it still feels good.
Yeah.
Like it handles well.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's been, you know, some tweaks to the structure and stuff, but the packs are all interchangeable.
And then these bolts here.
Yeah, so this center spine is where the cables go. So there's a connector on the back side of the battery here, which we'll probably get to take a look at here in a moment. And then there's a set of cables that run through this spine to the front drive unit. There's also another set of cables, or on older cars, 2 sets of cables for AC compressor or heat pump and PTC heater.
Right, so old cars would have 4 cables.
They'd have 4 small cables and then 2 big cables.
And then obviously heat pump, they're all integrated into one unit now.
Right, it's all just one unit. So it's got 2 small cables on this and then the 2 big cables for the drive unit.
The one thing that kind of sparked this whole idea was, of course, that cool under shield piece. It really does show just how Tesla's obsessing over airflow. I mean, Ioniq 6 is regarded as a pretty efficient vehicle, for example.
Right.
And we just had that on the lift, Lacey's car.
Yeah.
And it had like a giant air catch back here.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how, some stuff just doesn't really have very much optimization for Aero. Or you'll see things where they try to optimize some things for Aero, and then they just leave other things totally, like, if you're going to do it, do everything.
So I had dinner with the guy who did all of the underbody Aero for the new 5 Series.
Okay.
And i5. And he was like, Kyle, you have no idea. I have a team of like 100 people and we obsess over every single little bolt. And I'm like, yeah. And BMW does stuff like this, but so does Tesla.
Right.
And that's where the highway efficiency really helps.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
All right. So this was one idea. The other thing was new battery, new sticker. We got to see what it says.
Yeah, indeed. And I just realized I may have forgotten to bring some additional sockets, but we can at least take this off for now. But there's going to be another metal shield under here that's going to be in our way.
Okay.
But we just have a bunch of M6 fasteners. So we'll just zip all those out.
That's a freaking awesome tool.
Oh,
Alex is a Milwaukee guy, by the way.
I like my red tools, but everybody's got their own preference. All right, so that should be all but one. Did I get everything? I think so.
Yep.
It might have...
Clipped in.
Yeah, it's got something... Oh, we do have some clips here on the sides. Okay. Yeah, on the sort of felt fender liner, there's some plastic
I can see
clips.
the clips. All right, well, we'll get it all pulled apart and get back with the people to see what it looks like under there. Because as far as we know, no one's shown the underside of the Model Y Performance battery yet.
Right, yeah, and I'm curious. I mean, it's just going to be a part number. I could look up the part number on the parts catalog, but it'll still be cool to see the sticker. All right, so we got a couple clips here. I forgot my clip tool, so I'm using a flathead screwdriver.
I feel like I'm watching an Out of Spec Renew YouTube video.
Maybe so.
By the way, if you're in North Carolina or anywhere on the East or West Coast, Alex can work on your car.
Indeed.
But you kind of have a lot of customers, dude.
Yeah, I've got plenty of inquiries, and yeah.
It's good to have kind of unlimited business. There's not enough EV technicians in the world.
Yeah, there's certainly plenty out there, but there still needs to be more.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I should be able to just pull that back.
Nice. Well, there's
I'm
that
just
40U.
Slide it up there.
This thing's been working hard for us this week.
Yeah, so that's the 40U. Wow, it does look a lot different.
Yeah, totally.
Than the old style.
Kind of cool.
Interesting. So the stack plate heat exchanger.
Yep.
Is in a totally different location.
Absolutely.
It does have a drain plug.
It's a 3-mounted unit now. Yeah, 3-mounted. No,
Yeah,
4-mounted. Yeah, for model.
All the mounts are in the same spot.
Yep.
Even the pump looks different, slightly different.
Oil pump, variable RPM.
So on the 3DU, there is no drain plug. You have to pull the pump out to drain the oil.
Really?
But on this,
yep,
we do have a drain
right
plug.
there.
And I'm guessing this is where that filter lives.
Well, that would be the end of the world to get to. I mean, you'd still have to pull it out, but...
Well, you'd have to split the whole motor open, which, nobody's going to do that for regular maintenance. But yeah, so what we're going to get to here is behind this cover. So we've got a 10 millimeter.
Surprised sway bar doesn't look all that juicy.
It looks bigger than a standard one, maybe. It's not that much of a difference.
Yeah. I would have expected a big, thick bar on this thing.
Yeah.
The front's probably got a pretty big sway bar on it.
Yeah.
Just based off driving it, it feels like it does.
All right, so we've got one 10 millimeter nut there. Mm-hmm. Then we've got a bunch of 13s. There we go.
Nice.
All right, so we got all those out. And then we've got these two guys right here, which are in EP Torx.
I guess it's not often that you'd have the opportunity to pull stuff off a brand new car.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, not really.
How often do you pull stuff out of cars and you're just getting covered in dirt?
Oh, quite often. Which even on this, I mean, even though it's a brand new car, I mean, my hands are dirty and there's still stuff, falling out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got a couple of coolant hoses clipped into that, but we're just going to try and scoot it back here out of the way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there is not a pack sticker in the place where I would expect. There might be one on the front instead. So are there any other differences under here? Not really. Yeah. All the connectors look the same as the older packs. So this connector right here is for the rear drive unit, and you can see the cables go back that way.
Yep.
This connector, you can see the cables go into our spine, up to the front, and then these little cables right here from the spine go to that connector right there.
Yeah, and your little uh-oh situations over here.
Yeah, so that's your umbrella valves.
Yep.
So there's an umbrella valve on each side. And we were just talking about flood ports too. This little gray doohickey is a flood port. And there's one of those on each.
Right, so what's interesting is my Model S is going in for service, my Palladium 2022, and they're replacing all of those on my car.
Yeah, which I'm surprised that Tesla would do that.
Yeah, I never complained about them.
What the heck is that? Oh, that's the adaptive valve on the suspension. I was wondering what that was because I've never seen that before on a 3-year-old.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, well, so no sticker on the rear.
So when I was talking to Lars, the numbers he gave me for this battery, and by the way, you might hear different numbers reported online.
Right.
There's different cycles to determine gross and usable capacity.
Right.
This is apparently quoted from Tesla, 84 kilowatt hours usable, 84 kilowatt hours gross.
Right.
81.4 usable, which to me, they say it's 4.7% increase in energy density on the new Panasonic cell. This is built in Kansas. This new cell, it's still a 2170, new chemistry, 4.7% improvement, but I pull 81 kilowatt hours out of the other Panasonic packs.
Right.
So, can you open this up for me if it's not already? Yeah, need you to unlock it. I've got some more stats. I just thought it would be more than 81.4 usable.
Right.
But again, it might be in our testing because they may be using a pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, it seems like the number that they're quoting doesn't really seem like that much of an increase.
So it's, new cell. These are my notes from when I went on the launch for this car. 4.7% energy increase, thinner cell walls, which is how they fit more in the cell,
Oh, interesting.
and a new tab.
Okay.
It's an NCMA cell, so it's manganese and aluminum,
Okay.
and it uses improved silicon on the anode. It also, they claim, a 30-minute 10 to 80, which
Okay.
in my testing is a 40-minute, 39-minute 10 to
Yeah.
80. But again, it was warm ambient.
Right. Warm ambient. Maybe if it was cooler temperatures.
But regardless, this pack does really struggle with thermal management, and we've had it during the hot summer.
Right.
And that's why it's in here to cool down. And they say that it has cooling tubes, so each cell is encased in a jacket, and it's a power pack improvement, whatever that means. I need to write better notes.
Huh.
So it makes more power output, I think is what I meant to
so
say.
more power dense.
Yes, more power dense battery pack.
Does it really make more power, though? How much more power does
Well,
it
the
make?
car may not, but the pack may be able to support it. And I'll tell you why I think that's the case compared to Model 3 performance.
Okay.
This thing at low SOC doesn't seem to fall off.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. Even at 30% or 20%.
So I wonder
it
if they
boogies.
have something planned for this pack type.
It's possible that this pack can support a future spicier version of a car.
Right.
It doesn't feel very stressed. It just feels very under-thermaled, but that is also software controlled.
Right.
They could run super hardcore cooling, they just don't, and that's why it overheats.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I don't necessarily think it's a thermal issue with the battery pack. I just think it's the control logic
Right.
that we're running into the cooling issues on this car.
Got it.
Well, this was really cool. I mean, it's cool to see the new 40U under here. We assume this is the 40U.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
this is
Does it
this
say-
is definitely a 4DU. It probably will have.
There's the part number here.
Oh, do you have a part number? Oh. I do see a part number, but I don't see where it says 4DU.
Yeah.
It might.
D4. No, not 40U. Man, this thing's toasty.
It might say on this. Does it say
4D.
Oh yeah, 4DU
4DA.
or is that
4D2.
yeah? Anyway, 4D. Close enough.
Does it even say 4? Or are we just tricking ourselves?
Also, the axle seal is leaking.
I mean,
They do always leak a little bit.
yeah, this thing got heat cycled like crazy, dude. I was really hard on this car.
Yeah.
Well, that all looks fine. Very cool, fun video, super impressive, without question, kind of the optimization. Tesla, the one thing that they get right every time is making that piece work with this piece, work with that piece, and as a system, it's engineered really well.
Right.
It seems like most cars, and I can tell you for a fact, most cars are developed by the chassis team, the battery team, the motor team, the suspension, whatever, right? And so then you've got to bring all those together, and it's a little bit of fighting who goes where.
Right.
This, yes, there are teams for those, but this is all developed with the system in mind, and it makes for such a well-packaged and elegant car.
Indeed.
And then you can make it safe and efficient and, you know, just work as a overall vehicle. And that's the Tesla magic.
Right.
So anything you'd like to add underneath the car?
I did just notice that the CV axles are quite a bit different.
Oh,
Specifically the boots on them.
wow. Those are weird looking.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just totally different setup.
Yeah.
But
Wonder if you can retrofit those.
don't know.
And it could just be because it's a performance, they had to re-engineer the half shafts for this particular car. Do we know if other 40Us use that same?
Don't know. Never worked on a car with 40U, so.
Yeah. It's kind of cool to be under here to check this out. You can see all the sound deadening too.
Yeah, sound deadening even on the felt fender liners.
This car,
That's a first. I've never seen that before either.
this car weighs 4,416 pounds, which is significantly lighter than any of its competition.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds
here, can you look
reasonably light.
Look up what Ioniq 5N weighs.
Ooh, that's going to be... I wonder.
I bet it's 52.
Let's see. Ioniq, if I can spell, 5N, weight. It's actually not. It's 4861.
Wow, that's impressive.
So what'd you say this was?
44.
Okay, so it's...
Yeah, it's like 350, 400 pounds.
Yeah, it's 400. I mean, it's basically 400 pounds heavier. This was 44 what?
4462.
Yeah, so it's almost exactly 400 pounds heavier. So
That's
it's heavier, but
deal.
it's not that much heavier.
All right, now let's look up what else does it compete with.
I guess that is still like a 10% difference.
Yeah, but that does have like the shifting thing and a limited slip diff, which this doesn't have, and other cool performance stuff, and bigger brakes.
Let's see, what else would be...
Mach-E Rally, maybe? Or Mach-E GT performance?
Mach-E GT.
Oh, we should also look up Macan Electric.
4962.
Okay.
So
that's pretty heavy.
600 pounds heavier. Or no, 500
500.
pounds. Yeah.
What about Macan GTS Electric?
Macan GTS electric weight. Oh, what do you think it weighs?
Well, the Germans add so much stupid stuff in their cars.
There's a range depending on equipment, but at its least 5350.
53.
Yeah, and at its most 5412. So
it's 1,000
it's
pounds.
almost 1,000 pounds heavier. Half a ton. That's significant.
That's significant. I mean, it does have air suspension and
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of extra stuff.
a lot of sound deadening. But this is a quiet car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. The lighter the car is, the more natural it feels, the safer it is, the better for the environment, the less cost.
Right.
Anyway, that's pretty crazy about the Macan.
Yeah, that's a tank.
Well, this was a very impromptu video, so Alex, let's button this up and not tell Tesla we pulled apart their car they gave to us.
Don't watch this video.
Yeah. Thanks to Tesla for loaning us the Model Y Performance. Honestly, this is the stuff that makes me so excited about what they do. You get to see their work from like 5 years ago or even 10 years ago on a daily basis. But
or even more than that.
Your impression on how the company is engineering cars today with this kind of stuff compared to other cars that you work on, what's your impression?
I mean, I would say a lot of the stuff is kind of built with, I don't know, it kind of depends. There's some variability there, some give and take. Some things are designed pretty well for serviceability, and other things not so much. Like the internal stuff for the batteries on 3 and Y, serviceability is not super great.
That's sort of a rip and replace situation.
Right, but when you're talking about stuff like, if you needed to pull a drive unit out of this car to replace it, it's a relatively straightforward process to drop the subframe and pull the drive unit out. I mean, it's probably not that much less complicated than any other car, but it's still pretty straightforward the way that they set things up.
The thing that I like that Tesla does is all of the toolbox access that they give, very reasonably cheap, and the in-car toolbox tools.
Yeah, the in-car toolbox stuff and all the service manuals and stuff are free, which that's kind of amazing how far Tesla has turned all that around. Because, I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, Tesla was basically very anti-repairability. You basically couldn't buy parts from them, you couldn't access service manuals or get toolbox access. And then they started to open it up a little bit. They opened up access to the parts catalog for shops, and they brought out service access for toolbox, but it was expensive. And they've since brought it to a point where I would almost say Tesla is one of the better players for repairability when it comes to this kind of landscape.
Yeah, that's a big 180. And hopefully we see Rivian and Tesla kind of Rivian and Lucid follow suit.
Rivian seems to think they still have a long ways to go, and Lucid is like where Tesla was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything. They're like, don't touch our cars.
Right, exactly. But yeah, hopefully things can change with that.
Very cool. Well, thanks for taking us underneath this car, Alex. This is why I love having you here in North Carolina, just for these impromptu visits. That's really fun, really cool to see. And I was really hoping we'd find the battery sticker, but I feel like it was just a fun thing to go around anyway. So yeah, Tesla claims 84 kilowatt hour gross, 81.4. I bet we're going to pull more out of it going from 100 to 0.
Yeah.
I think that's worst case scenario. So thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you on another one again soon. That's the new Model Y Performance review from Down Under.